So it has immediately come to my attention that it has indeed been quite some time since I last did a commentary video, or a commentated video. So here I am. I don't really have any excuses as to why it took me so long between the last video and now, but life just came in unexpectedly. So let's play something I haven't played in a while. Now I'm not sure, I actually genuinely cannot remember if I uploaded a video on this game before. If I did, it was in early 2019. If I didn't, I had recorded footage for this game in early 2019. And I was a lot more negative on the game then than I am now. I spent something like 5 hours playing this early today. And I'm finding it fun. It's just a fun arcade racer with multiple types of vehicles. So there's a big draw for there. There's just a nice amount of variety. The map's massive. The roads are, you know, it's not a very accurate map of the United States of America, but it's a fun map to drive on. So I don't have many complaints in that department. Visually, on a Xbox One S, it has its moments. It can look stunning. It can also look garbage. Yeah, like the buildings, for example. Sometimes they don't look too crash hot. Sometimes the game tanks with its frame rate too for no real reason. I think this is pushing the Xbox One hardware a bit, just a little bit. But overall, I think it's a lot better than the Crew 1, and I've been thoroughly enjoying it. So there's that. So I had intended on not doing that many videos while my course was going through and progressing, which by this point I would have almost been halfway through it. However, due to a certain, now just gigantic outbreak, that has been put on hold until July, meaning I've got to wait at this point about 2 more months, because it is nearly May, so that'll be 2 months. So I've taken it upon myself to just become as fit as I can with the limited equipment that I have at home, and I've made progress. It's been fun, but it's just been something to do. It's brought me a sense of, you know, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's brought me, you know, a routine. That's the word I'm looking for. It's brought me a routine to have while I'm not doing anything. Looking back on it, I should have done this 2 years ago, but hey, better late than never. So, what else do you drive in the Crew 2? Well, other than quite a few cars, it's a really weird car list actually. It's a bit all over the place. There are some nice cars and there are some meh ones. But you drive cars, you drive planes, you drive boats, and you drive bikes. And boats can be okay at times. Boats is the worst one, definitively. You know, bikes, but I love bikes. I love bikes in real life, even though my dad would destroy it if I got one, which is unfortunate, but that's the truth. You know, the cars are great. Some of them are a little floaty, and then there's, you know, off-road and stuff like that. It's fun. It's good. All good stuff. I don't really have much else to say. It's been so long since I last did a video that I'm now kind of at loss. At a loss of what to say. But I'll get around to it eventually. I'm going to do another video after this, so there's that. So I believe this was actually my first race on the bikes. And the fact that everything has nitrous, it's weird, because I thought nitrous would just be a nice like speed thing. But you've actually got to time it with some jumps here. And it's the same with boats. Like, you know, you can boost just before you get on ramps, if you have to go on the ramps, because ramps will often slow you down more often than not. So you can speed just, I mean, as you hit the ramp, you get a nice speed boost over the ramp. Here, same applies to some degree, because you can jump over jumps and not be caught off by roadblocks that will, like, you know, bumps that will slow you down on the road. You know, it would have been ideal to jump over those two, but alas, that didn't happen. But yeah, and then in the cars, it's just there. I already forgot the fourth discipline. It's planes. Fuck me, it's planes. I'll get there eventually. I'll remember it all eventually. My brain will start working again one day. Actually, planes in nitrous with planes is rather useless actually, because you can still, like, you don't have, I mean, you can get engine cut out at certain altitudes, but I haven't encountered it yet, so I don't know. I do love how they botched the, like, Laguna Seca. I think that's the only licensed racetrack in the entire game, but they've absolutely butchered Laguna Seca. And I remember seeing like a Twitter thing for that. And I also saw like the F1 car the person was driving was like a Haas F1 car, and I'm thinking, well, hang on a minute, Haas F1's in this? But no, it's just the a different livery for the Red Bull F1 cars, because the the RB13 and RB14 are in this game, which is really cool. And it does play with the weirder car list, because again, there's like, you know, Mazda MX-5s, Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifolios, there's a couple of Ford Mustangs, there's different discipline cars and top of the road cars. It's like, you know, drift drag and race. Oh, street race and touring car, I should add too. So like, yeah, it's all very, very weird. Considering bikes is street bikes and motocross, I'm pretty sure, and then there's just rally raid cars, and then there's hovercraft, but then boats are just boats, and yeah, planes are planes to some degree. I haven't checked deep enough into the planes and boats to really care. As I said before, boats didn't really do that much for me, but something about having to hold down on the left analog stick all the time to get a small speed boost to actually get a chance at overshooting your opponents just came off as unappealing. But on that note, here is the final race. It's coming up shortly. It'll get there. We'll cycle through the clip eventually, but here it is. I think this was me trying this on hard difficulty because this is a loaned car, so what have I got to lose by trying on a harder difficulty? And I got a lot of achievements from playing this game in the 5 or 6 hour, sprint that I did it in. I was going to say, the game can look pretty mediocre sometimes, but then you've got the lighting reflecting on the road like this, and you just go, wow, this does look quite nice sometimes. But then the buildings knock you back into reality, and you realise that it's, it's definitely a road first sort of thing. They've definitely paid more attention to making the, scenery in some areas more memorable than others, but the roads are like, whoa. There was like a really good stretch. There's actually one event in particular that I remember. It was the, I think it was the first Harley Davidson, if there is more Harley Davidson events. But you just drive a bike on like a 10-minute circuit and you just cruise along. And it is so satisfying. You just drive around the bike and it's just all these nice trees and all this nice like nature and all that. It's just like, it is actually genuinely so satisfying. It was one of the most satisfying moments I've had in a racing game in quite some time. Just because it wasn't trying to be like, which is weird considering this game's over the top a lot of the time. Not as over the top as Need for Speed Heat, but it does get there at points. But it was just a nice moment of tranquility. And shit, you don't even get that in Forza Horizon 4. You just drive cars, to be fair. But not a lot of the roads lend themselves to getting lost in an environment, immersing yourself in an environment. So it's all a bit weird. It's just nice. It's just very nice. So yeah, even though this is on hard, I'm still doing okay. Not to flex or anything, but yeah. Oh, and I nearly crashed into a bus. Yeah, traffic can be mildly annoying in this game. It seems like the hard difficulties made the AI slightly faster and has put more traffic on the road. But other than that, yeah, nothing much really. I mean, the AI doesn't even come off as that quick. Maybe because I have a load car and it's adapted it accordingly or something like that. I don't know. Again, like, see stuff like this, these stretches of road, for example, you can just get lost in them and you just go, oh, cool, I'll just cruise down here. Another case in point, actually, is when you go do the escape modes, where you got to try escape with, like, the expanding radius circle for as long as you can. And, like, again, you just get lost on those roads. And you kind of just don't realize after a while. You're going fast, but you don't realize for a while there that you're trying to get away from something. I mean, eventually it will overpower you no matter how quick your car is, but it's still really cool nonetheless. So I guess in a nutshell, this game is just, coming back to it for a second time and giving it a proper multi-hour shot. It's grown on me. It's a pleasant surprise. Heaven forbid I say that, but it's a very pleasant surprise. So on that note, that is the end of this video. This is The Crew 2 on Xbox One, running on an Xbox One S. If you've gone to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, like and subscribe. I shall see you in the next video. See you later.